In the name of Allah, the most compassionate, the most merciful, my dear friends and fellows. Look, many and many and many of the people are found saying that I'm not so lucky, I'm unlucky, that those people are the lucky people. I am not a lucky one. That is being, you know, that is being heard from many of the people. Many of the people are found saying this thing. But what is the truth in it, if at all there is any truth in it? Let's try to examine it. Why people call themselves as unlucky person? First of all, we need to examine it. In overwhelming number of the cases, people think that since I'm not a wealthy person, I could not inherit a good amount of wealth. I could not achieve, I could not earn a very good amount of wealth. Since I'm not an influential person, so for that reason, I'm not a lucky person as well. So that is the definition of being a lucky person, my dear friends. I think that although money is important, influence is very useful, but it is not the definition of being a lucky person at all. There are certain other things which are extremely important as compared to this one, as compared to the wealth in our hands, as compared to the influence we people are enjoying, experiencing. Dear friends, in a society like Pakistan, the importance of the money and the importance of the influence is very high. But despite all that, it is not a proof that the person is a lucky one, despite that she is having plenty of money and influence. My dear friends, what is something, you know, which is far more important as far our luck is concerned, a good luck is concerned. First of all, I think it is a life for a human being. It is the life which is important and which is rather much more important than anything else. Why? Because if a person is a penniless person, but he is alive, she is alive, so this means that this person is far better than a billionaire or even a trillionaire who is not alive today, who is gone, who has left this world, and who is beneath the earth, in the belly of it. You know, I think that it is a life which is extremely important. The most important thing ever for a human being is our life, and immediately after that, it is not the money or the influence or the fame, rather, it is our health. If at all our limbs are working well, all the four limbs are working well, if at all we can see, we are not blind, if at all we can listen, we can talk. So, this is the next most important thing after being alive. Dear friends, here in this case too, if a person is unable to use well their limbs, and despite the fact that she is having their own aeroplanes and is a super rich person, can buy anything else they want to, but if at all their limbs are not working, it actually means that this person is an unlucky person. No matter how influential, how rich, how famous the person is, if at all they are not healthy, if at all she is not healthy, so all of that is actually useless and absolutely useless. So I think that it is the most important thing, our health and our being dependent, not dependent, rather independent. Mean we can do whatever we want to. As for the trivial works are concerned, as for the self-care is concerned, as for the self-care is concerned, we are not dependent upon anyone else. We depend upon we ourselves. And if at all the two of these things are having, if at all you, I, or someone else, if at all we are having the two of these things, indeed, 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 we are lucky person. The bad luck is far, far, far away from us. You know, there is third thing, and the third thing is, and if at all the third thing is not there, and then we will not be able to understand the importance of the first two things. If at all we don't have the third thing, we will not be able to understand the importance of the first and the second thing. And this third thing is having the positive approach towards life, thinking positively, having good habits. Thinking positively, having good habits, that is really, really, really more important than the money, than the influence or fame. If a person does not think positively, the person is alive on the one hand, and their limbs are working well on the other hand. They can see, they can listen, they can talk, but their thinking is not positive and their habits are not good at all. It actually means that a person, despite having everything else, despite having the life and the health, despite having the money and the fame or influence, this person is still an unlucky person, my dear friend. This third thing is also extremely important, and the third thing, as we are talking, this is actually our ability to think positively, our habit to think positively, our good habits. If at all we do have the good habits, if at all we do have the good qualities, I think that, and the three of these things, the life on the one hand, the being healthy or being independent as for the self care is concerned, and then thirdly having the positive thinking and the good habits, I believe that a person is a lucky one. We don't need to look upon, but we don't need to look into the mirror of someone else. Rather, we need to look upon ourselves, and we need to have a kind of separate and independent criteria about what is being lucky and what is not being lucky. I believe that if at all we do have the three of these things, we are one of the lucky people. And being one of the lucky people, I think that we need to become grateful to Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala. And as for the third thing, as for the third thing is concerned, as for the third thing, the positivity of thought on the one hand, good habits, I think that is totally, in our own hands. We are not dependent upon anyone else for that. We are not dependent upon anyone else at all as far the positive thinking is concerned. Although we can seek the motivation from the other people, we can seek the motivation, we can seek the inspiration from the other people, but we are primarily not dependent upon anyone else at all. Rather, we are dependent upon we ourselves only. So that is the way I think, and I believe that if at all we do keep thinking in this way, we can put ourselves amongst the lucky people, and we can pull us out of the unlucky people. Thank you.